coming across.
He was.
Shit, how do I get up there?
In my gas, he's stuck. Doesn't matter because it does no damage whatsoever. They're rezzing in my gas. This is how terrible Caustic is, chat. You ready? Are you watching this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Get me out of this fucking game!
Caustic, once known as the Gas Daddy, has been demoted to the Gas Parent. So how did we get to this? For that, we'll have to go back in time. My name is Pepin, and I'm dog shit at this game, and I still love it. Let's go. It's 2019 and Apex just came out. It was set to be the Fortnite killer. So, you know me, the boys had to play it. It had mechanics that made us fall in love. No fall damage, wall climbing, and who could forget sliding? Keep in mind, this was at the time where the biggest battle royales were the clunkiest pieces of garbage that you could ever play on. And compared to that, this was an absolute dream. So, me and the boys sunk our teeth into this brand new battle royale experience and loved it. Over time, I eventually got my hands on enough legend tokens that I could finally afford a new character, though the options were limited, of course. On one hand, I had the option to play a lovable goofball that could send out decoys to trick people. On the other hand, a monster of a man that could put out gas traps that would blind opponents while damaging them and giving them a slight slow effect. The only downside is that his gas would also affect teammates by slowing them down too. His ultimate was a gas grenade that could be thrown into an area that could produce the same results as his gas traps, but in a bigger radius. And this man was the gator in the swamp, the monster in the fog, Caustic baby! So it's an obvious choice. I got him and I loved it. At first I wasn't great at him, but I tried my best. I loved the gameplay mechanics and his voice lines and how it felt like I was playing a true villain in this game meant for heroes. This is also around the time I started using Reddit, so I searched for an Apex subreddit so I could see what other people were doing. And for some reason, I saw that people were dropping bunker. Then I clicked on a video.
Go on.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, boys. Oklahoma, baby, let's go.
This video right here and those like it are the biggest reasons I played Caustic. Gunfire at every corner and death on every single side. Every room and bunker was turned into a living nightmare. This was what Caustic was made to do. There was even a little ledge on top of the doors in the rooms where you and your teammates could hide out and wait to gas people stupid enough to walk into a room filled with death boxes. If you could describe what agony truly was, then this was the definition. But eventually, as everything does, we played less and less, went on to other games, Minecraft, Ark, Black Desert. Apex soon became a fading memory.
Just one thing left to do, eh? Time to bring the fun. Time to... Time to bring the pain.
So, it's been almost a year since I last played Apex and I decided, you know what, let's try it again. I ended up buying the Legend Bundle because there were too many new characters to play and I wanted to play them all. Plus, it would put me straight into the action. I had fun playing around with these characters because they brought so many cool mechanics to the table. Octane with his stim, Revenant with his silence, and Fuse with whatever the fuck bomb he has, okay? But even with all these characters with new abilities and lore, there was always one that I came back to. Caustic. He was better than ever. They tweaked his gas damage, the gas no longer slowed down teammates, and most of all, he was still cool as fuck. I kept playing him over better tiered legends because, in my opinion, it didn't really matter who you played as long as you could hit all your opponents. Well, I didn't play him much in the new map Olympus when we were in King's Canyon. You know I had to drop bunker, baby. I was back on my shit and loving it. You know I gassed every single room in that bitch. I didn't get many wins, but it was good times, alright? It was pretty cool to be doing the same stuff as I did in the beginning. Eventually, the boys started playing again, and the game felt better than ever to play. It felt fresh, and it felt like there were new memories to be made. But then, it hit.
In all seriousness, I'm pretty sure this has actually made Caustic no longer a character.
About Caustic's nerf, let me just say, he got nerfed to the ground.
This was Caustic's biggest nerf to date, and it happened during his own event. This man basically got presented with a surprise birthday party and got kicked out. A promotion just so he could get fired. In all seriousness, there are a lot of problems with Caustic's current state. So I compiled a list of problems brought from the Apex community during the months this patch has been out. So first, his passive has become semi-useless as the gas that characterizes Caustic's iconic monster in the fog persona is thinner than the smoke that sets off the fire alarms in college dorm rooms. In addition to this, the removal of blurred vision in the gas from the patch in November means that if you can see an enemy through the gas, you best believe that they can see you almost just as well. His hitbox is relatively large, making him an easy target even with the fortified passive. Unlike his brother-in-arms passive-wise Gibraltar, Caustic has nothing to aid him in open combat. This hasn't been a problem until lately, as Caustic's defensive capabilities have been weakened, which forces players to run into open combat just to try to find another spot to hunker down in. Alright, finally, the elephant in the room, his gas damage. This was the biggest change in Caustic's kit. This not only changes the way you have to play as Caustic, but it also changes the way others play around you. If you're a relatively smart player and you can keep an eye on your health, then Caustic's gas isn't a huge problem. Before, opponents would have to be careful with how they approach it, since the gas would have varied damage from 6 to 12. Now, with a static amount, it's more comparable to being outside the early game circle. It's really not that bad. At this point, one of the only good things about Caustic's tactical is the slow it provides and how it can act as a worse rampart wall. I'm not saying that Caustic should be this almighty being that can turn every single building into Fort Knox, or that he should be an absolute beast in open or closed combat. But it is an undeniable fact that his kit isn't in the best shape right now. Even with the new Arenas mode, it doesn't seem that his defensive capabilities shine there either. And these days, it feels like that sentiment goes for the Battle Royale mode too. If you want to learn more about these issues, links will be provided in the description with resources and people that are far more knowledgeable than I on these current topics. Once again, I'm not here to complain, but instead bring up the issues which plague this legend. But even still, how the fuck can people be running through his gas with no care in the world, reviving teammates, and not only that, have the ability to make a whole sandwich, eat it, and live? Bro, what the fuck? I won't stop playing him because in my heart, he's still the coolest character in Apex. Maybe someday, however far away that day might be, Caustic will once again be